Okay, so I've kind of played E.V.O. Search for Eden before. Enough of it that I can't call it a blind playthrough, unfortunately. I haven't beaten it, and I didn't know about this game when I was a kid. I found out about this as an adult while exploring Enix's category, or their backlog, rather. And I was like really blown away by the concept and thought it was super cool. This is like one of a handful of games from the NES, Super Nintendo era that I'd love to see an indie dev try to make a like modern interpretation of. Because it's such a neat idea that I don't think we ever saw anybody really try to make a version of, except for like Spore, which is a terrible game that sucks. But the idea of like framing evolution as an action RPG is such a neat concept, I think. The last time I tried this game was many years ago, so although I'm not blind, I don't remember much of the specifics in terms of level design or boss fights or things like that. This is a game I recently visited Japan with my sister and my wife and was trying to buy some Super Famicom games. This is like one of those games that's impossible to find, and I found a copy of it, the Japanese version. It's called like 4.6 billion years ago or something, which I think is what inspired Robin to put this on Subblock. Push start. If I were to ever make my own game, I would consider making a modern take on this. Which means I should probably play it and beat it before I explore that idea, right? If I remember correctly, it's structured kind of oddly. Like, it has elements that are sort of Metroidvania-like, but not exactly. I feel like Metroidvania is like the obvious take, right? Because there's so many of the upgrades can be progression upgrades. Yeah, so like you start as a fish, and you're really slow. I'm gonna eat this jellyfish that's talking to me, which is mean. Look, newcomer. Only move forward, never back. Evolve and become strong. The weak and flabby will be easy to defeat. And so when you eat them, you get evolution points, which are essentially XP, and you heal. So I could spend some time grinding here. I'll probably try to move along, but... I really like the look of the game. I guess I have a special place in my heart for 16-bit. I think it looks incredible. It ages really well, right? Cave of Guidance. I actually don't know how many evolution points I want here. Maybe I'll get to 200 and then check. These guys are a bit harder. Okay, let's see. So I can like pull up the menu here. Evolution. Do my jaws, which are pretty expensive. Could do a horn. Body. Increases like my defensive stats, presumably. I think the fins make me go faster. Probably also makes me go faster. I think I want better jaws so I can do more damage, right? Mysterious time evolves you, and then it like actually changes your character model, which is super cool. Something in your body speaks. How are you progressing? You can call me Crystal. Evolving your body increases defense. Horns increases attack power. Hands, dorsal fin, and your tail increase your hit points. Agility and strength. Evolving one part decreases another part. So, like, how much damage do I do now? Now I one-shot them, so they're, like, way easier to farm. And they're, like, much better XP than the jellyfish. Tempting to chill here and farm one more upgrade. Let me do that. Why not? The crystals you eat are kind of a weird concept. Like, this game kind of has an issue where it's not clear what the structure is at any point. You kind of just go from level to level and kind of follow the developer's whims. But you can't, like, set a goal for yourself and work toward it. It's not really that kind of game. Why don't we do the sailing dorsal fin? Yeah, so now I just move faster, which makes it even easier for me to kill these guys. Okay, we'll move on. I wish I had ever found this game when I was a kid. Like, this was just never on the shelf at Blockbusters. I didn't know that it was a thing. I guess it was also pretty rare in the US. Most Super Famicom games are not rare. Like, you go to any secondhand store in Japan and they'll have a million copies of everything for like $5 a piece. The fact that this one was rare must have mean that it wasn't very popular in Japan either. Thinking of evolution as XP is a cool idea. Oh, that's way better. I should have come here to farm. Basically worth 40 XP each. I guess you have to kill the second split creatures. You may evolve into a strange creature. Okay, so now I'm a manta ray. I can't normally become a manta ray, I guess, through normal evolution. This is where there's like cool ideas for if you were to make this as a Metroidvania, right? Or you could unlock some of these special forms that you can't get to just by spending evolution points. But you need to have some way to like swap between them at will. Because I think that if I remember from this game correctly, once you get these forms, they last like a set number of seconds, and then it just reverts you back to what you were before. Maybe there's some way to lock them in that I never found out when I emulated it 15 years ago or whatever. Crystal power doesn't work yet. Return to former body. Okay. So I don't really know, like, what is the gameplay purpose of getting the temporary form like that? Maybe just to introduce you to the idea that you could be pretty different from the way you start if you haven't already been spending resources on evolving. At this point, it might just make more sense to save up for something better. The tackle fin, 500 XP. Do that. $25 for these guys. Their mode 7 background there with the swimming fish. I guess as on mode 7, that's just regular parallax scrolling. I have my dorsal fin upgrade, which is how I'm able to catch them in the first place. Ooh, that's pretty good. Let's do tackle fin. Oh, I'm really fast. Nice. Yeah, if you did the Metroidvania, it would be cool to go prior to fish, right, and start as a microscopic life form, which I know sounds like Spore, but Spore is just one of the most disappointing games I've ever played. I remember being really excited for it when it came out, and then being super disappointed. One of those games where it's like the marketing for the game sounds really good if you just like say, oh, here are the bullet points. This phase of the game is like Pac-Man, and this phase of the game is like Diablo. It's all stuff that's like technically true, such that if you put it on the back of the box, you wouldn't be lying. But also, it doesn't feel like what it's implying at all. Bubbles from the volcano. So this is weird. Like, it's just like I've just been trapped in this area. We're trying to convey the idea that, like, there's a bunch of volcanic activity that happens over the course of history and that changes the course of evolution. But, like, to do that by putting you in a weird level where you're trapped for 3 minutes chasing fast fish is just an odd decision. I think one of my problems with a lot of like indie projects is that they like to take a game that's already perfect and just be like, I don't really have any new ideas for this. I'm just gonna make, you know, Ocarina of Time again. But I feel like games like this that have like a really cool premise that maybe wasn't perfectly delivered. I don't think this is a bad game by any stretch. I think it mostly works. It's just weird, right? It feels underdeveloped. Like, I wish we had the timeline where E.V.O 2 existed that we could peek at and see how it plays differently from this one. Because this game is already a follow-up to an earlier game on a different system. These guys are, like, armored, so I need to get better teeth. Shit, I'm gonna die. I might... Almost a hard requirement to just farm up to get better teeth for these dudes. Or at least better armor. Let me see how much I need for the next teeth level. Probably if I'm going to farm anywhere, I should be farming those green guys who double up into 40 XP, but... see if it lets me go back and do that. Hold on. This game almost feels like more of like a weird art project than it is a game, or it's like as though it was directed by like a weird auteur artist who isn't really like primarily concerned with game design and is just kind of interested in video games as like a canvas to explore kind of an interesting idea, right? And then contracted with actual game developers at Enix to make the game, but they mostly followed his advice regardless of whether it like worked as a game mechanic or not. There's a lot of video games that are like, what's the game mechanics are what's driving the development of the story and your progress through it, right? It's like game designers who are interested in unique game mechanics that interact with each other. I think even like the evolution's kind of weird that you just have access to everything immediately, right? 5 damage per bite now, that's good. I might chill here for a second until I can get my defenses up so I don't get one shot. How does saving in this game work? Is that easy to do? Okay, so I can save the names of my creatures here. Can I also just save the game more generally? Well, one of the buttons exits the screen I'm currently on, which is what I was trying to do. I think that there is some cool stuff in here where, like, you know, giving yourself more defensive upgrades makes you slower. That makes sense. If you were to do the indie E.V.O. and you structured it like a Metroidvania, I wonder, like, how you would handle... Because I feel like getting XP for eating animals feels really good. It's a really cool idea. It's a neat way to, like, govern your evolution. But you don't want it to be, like, super grindy. You want to have some upgrades that you get from area exploration and progression and stuff, right? I guess ideally it would be like a mix of the two, where once you've unlocked something, you're able to switch to it whenever you want, right? Instead of having to overwrite it with new upgrades later. Let's see. Body, I need 600 for the shell body. I probably want to get a tail. Actually, not that much slower with that. I'm also not sure if increasing size makes me slower or makes me do more damage, or if it's just extra hit points. I think if your indie take on this game should be more interested in, like, ecological niches, right? Where it's like you want to exploit weird specific weaknesses of the area that you're in. You can already think, like, there's all sorts of ideas for levels you could do. You could have a level that's, like, completely pitch black, but you have to come up with some new way to sense your environment that's not sight temporarily. Unfortunately, with this game, a lot of the ideas just kind of degenerate to how much damage does your attack do and how fast do you move and how much damage do you take. It doesn't really explore anything weird like, you know, senses. But there's a ton of design space for that in nature that you can draw from, I feel like. Let's do that last tail, the one that's 700, and then we'll move on. Now I'm fast as fuck. Right, we'll see if that helps with dealing with this new enemy that was giving me trouble. Yeah, that's way better. Okay. Now that I can bite through their armor. Oh shit, straight up 500 XP, okay. Increase my size here. Now I'm quite a bit slower, though. For a pretty significant increase in HP, though. I'm trying to do a horn, I think. Get how that works. Did that reduce my bite force? I think it did. It makes it so I charge enemies now instead of biting them. It's too bad, though. That wasted my teeth, because it wasn't clear that that overrode my earlier tool. Oh, it's way worse, too. Uh-oh. That's bad. I'll try to get my teeth back. You double tap the dash. It's kind of weird. What a downgrade. Hey, Revenant, how you doing? You're relatively fast. The fact that I don't one-shot anymore is what's punishing now. For sure. I'm saying I think I would love someone to make an indie version of this game. Or something that's more explicitly inspired by it, that's not Spore. Messing me up there, jeez. Saying that too many indie game adaptations are trying to adapt a game that's already perfect, and a flawed, weird game like this one is a much better target, I think. Yeah. I can't even do Jaws anymore, can I? Wow. Alright. So I have to pay to remove the swordfish. Oh, but it kept my thing. Okay, it's just that certain things override. Angler horn. Just draw enemies to my mouth. I see. Okay. That's cool. It needs to be a little bit more clear about whether it's going to overwrite something you already invested resources in, but... The seaweed whisper to one another. Prehistoric sharks, basically. Actually really curious whether the angler thing does anything. Seems like it's not really affecting enemy behaviors at all. Can't further increase. I think I'm at, like, max fish right now. The extent any of these can be max. Oh, I guess there's this one. We could move along the bottom of the sea without sticking. We would not have to be ruled by the sharks. Alright, so the ruler of the sharks is in here. I think this is as far as I've gotten. I maybe played a little bit past this point. King of the sea, why are you here? Sea is the only world. So he does more damage for biting me than he does for charging me, but he can still charge me, which is pretty nasty. Stunlock? Hey. Just eat giant meat. That's cool. Nice of them to let it filter onto the screen there. Look at that. We are the Strolites. A world filled with oxygen is being born. The entrance is here. I'm supposed to exit over this way. There we go. Okay. And primordial sushi. Yeah, this is great. Change of circumstance causes evolution. I love that. That's fantastic. I feel like that's like the whole premise of the game, is being able to do that as a game mechanic, right? The fish age lasted about 2 billion years. The land age. Here is a present for surviving the fish age. Thanks, Gaia. Took all my evolution points. Even stuff like that where it's like we just beat a boss, right? And it gave me a bunch of XP as a reward, but then like immediately in the next stage it takes it away. That's why I feel like the game is more driven by like a non-game design kind of art concept. Ikustega. Something is wrong. Oh, really? Pangea, I think that's supposed to say. I like having the different like phases of play like this. It's where I wish Spore was what they said it was going to be. Because you could do a thing where like the different phases of play feel like you're playing a different genre of game, right? Just Spore didn't feel like that at all. Oh, let's go left first. That's cool. Like how we get whales, I guess. Oh, but the XP is terrible. Sealafish. Difficult for us to evolve. That idea of like going in the water causes you to temporarily evolve like fins is such a cool one. I don't think it's like super explored though, right? Knowing only a little bit of this stage. Land of the timid Icustega. Well, look at all the layers in the background scrolling at different rates. It's crazy. Bull Icustega. Yeah. I need to evolve here. Jumping, maybe. Vestigial stuff is interesting. Back of the head. I guess we'll get the Icustega's jaws just to speed up. Can't jump high enough to get to the bugs yet. Super Mario jump on me. Oh, I can take advantage of the fact that they're sleeping. See, that's a cool little idea, right? There's a lot of cool level design stuff I feel like you could do with that. So the dream I have is that you'd make a game that's inspired by this, that's very driven first by, you know, your game design whiteboard, where you're like, okay, it's an evolution game. What design space do we have in, like, evolution of organisms? Turns out a fucking shitload, right? How do we turn that into game mechanics? Owned by the elder who takes care of plants. Those guys are 30 XP, so if I'm gonna farm something, I'm gonna farm those guys instead. That's interesting. I've never thought of E.V.O as being like giant robot games, but you're kind of right, aren't you? Why do I think this rules, but mech games like do nothing for me? I have to think about that. I guess the action RPG part of it's pretty important. You're like grinding for XP and getting new parts and stuff. So I also don't feel like I've ever played a mech game where like the customization of limbs and body parts and stuff is actually like super explored for game design purposes. It's just kind of like these are better than these things, right? It's not like you need to get jump boots to be able to fly up onto this platform, you know? Mentioned an elder, which has me worried because I have not. Uh-oh, yeah, this guy's gonna kick my ass. Congratulate you on passing through the protected land. This is the final area. I am the strongest. Debustega. Boo boo. Did you laugh at me? You think my body looks funny? I am going to defeat you. Let's see. That gets me a higher jump. He's about to delete me here. What happens when I die is we're gonna find out. You have been defeated. Keep the secret from my father, the sun. Lose some E.V.O points when that happens. I should probably farm on the previous screen. How is Armored Core 6? It's not like the Souls games, right? Not that I would expect it to be, but people were thinking it might be when it was first announced. Oh god, getting deleted over here. Movement speed is going to be pretty important because I'm pretty slow right now. Springtail is kind of underwhelming, I feel like. Okay. Yeah, it does. I had a great time with Kingsfield 2 yesterday. So I have a lot of trust with them. I did play Armored Core 2. Somebody put it on Subblock for like one stream, and I was just like, this is just a giant robot game. Don't know why they do nothing for me, but they just kind of don't. Let's see, what all can I evolve right now? 1,500 for Fierce Jaws, probably worth going for eventually. 1,000 for Dorsal Fins. The back of the head things do. They all cost the same amount. May have just given me some health. The chomp button do something different from the bite button. It has a different animation. I'm doing more damage with my bite now after that. Interesting. Let's get 1,000 XP. This is one of the things that's kind of problematic about this game, where it's like, in order for you to really check out the evolution space before fighting this boss fight, you kind of just have to walk back and forth on a single screen to level up. Like, it would be cool if there were enough levels that just from fighting all the enemies you ran into, that was enough XP to get a lot of evolutions, right? But if you just move through and only attack the enemies in front of you without moving back and forth and farming, then you will be able to get like one evolution by the time you get to the boss. Something different happens when you eat food. Let's see. That's pretty cool looking. I mean, enemies take damage if they jump on me, because that would be helpful for this boss, if so. Now I do 4 when I land on enemies' heads, so that's cool. Ah, don't despawn the food, yikes. Alright, let's see if the boss goes better this time. I can't bounce in him multiple times. Hey, got him. Suck it. Those better not be able to despawn, I'm gonna be pissed. Want me to, like, leave along the bottom of the screen here? No? Let's press a button to exit somehow? Oh, here we go. Something's happening. You are great. Thanks. You are strong. Do me a favor? Yes. The insects refused our proposal to coexist. I could, like, immediately eat them too, right? A new path off to the right there. I guess I should go down the middle first. Empty land. Someone's whispering in the air above you. Isn't it wrong to operate the process in reverse? This crystal must be bad for the evolution process. Shit's so weird, man. I don't think I want to go back, so I'm just going to ignore it for now. 1,500 for Fierce Jaws. 5,000 for Dual Horn, wow. 5,000 for Armor Body. I guess I could, like, shrink myself so that I take up less space. It'll reduce my hit points, but more speed would probably be better. 1,000 to do that, though. Oh, apparently going north was not progress the whole time. Okay. Profasu. Ancestor of Cockroach. All right. $40 XP per bite there is pretty good. Let's get the good jaws here. Right now. Looks pretty good. 15 damage. Wow. Stop knocking them off the screen to where I can't eat the meat, right? Cockroaches sleep? No. There's more of them at night. That's smart. Rude. Be able to do something else with 1500. Do the big horn, or just save up for the dual horn. Body changes are expensive as fuck for some reason. Kind of like the thorn dorsal fin. Do the thorny springtail. Down here for now. I really liked Enix in this period. They made a bunch of really weird games. I'd say like ActRaiser is really weird too. Oh, I'm losing health from eating. I see. Because they're like my same species or something. ActRaiser 2 is like only the action parts, right? Which is like, what the, that, don't do that. The action part's like the least interesting part of that game. I really like the pacing of that game as a kid. It was so like cool to have this, like as a kid I was excited for the action parts. Like I can't wait to get to the action parts. I didn't really appreciate that, like the fact that it's paced like that was unusual, right? The bugs carrying the little lizards is really funny looking. Okay, I'm a little bit faster now, that's nice. ActRaiser would be a cool one to do on stream at some point. I beat that on a rental as a kid, but I haven't played it in a long time. Tell the King Bee how important living in peace is. Damn, tragic. Poor guy. Gives me 1,000 XP though. That's cool of them. At this point, I think we save up for one of the body upgrades. Kind of crazy how all over the place the XP is too, right? Like these larvae are only worth like 20. Like they could do that intentionally, right? They could like have a place that's designed for grinding and say something about like actual evolution. Here comes another amphibian. You have evolved strangely. Did you use the crystal's power? You can only change it through one way, by force! Oh, I hard counter this fucking bee, man. Nice. You have the best jaws. Try to save for the dual horn. It's gonna be 5,000 either way. Okay. There's still something to do in the Cave of King Bee? So we'll see. Didn't realize I could go right there. Whoops. I am a dragonfly. You may call me Megausu. Sand Eater is very strong. It's so fucked up that like you can eat everyone who's trying to be helpful. Desert of Sand Eater. Can I even damage these guys? Shit. Shame. Please keep this a secret from my father, the sun. Oh, wow, you lose half your evolution points. That sucks. Lost like 1,200 from beating the bee. Edosaurus. It is the era of reptiles. Shit. This dude's not fucking around. Okay. Really hard to, like, bite that guy. Okay. Not so slightly, it turns out. Try jumping on them. I wish I could chain bounce on enemies, but I don't think that's in the cards here. 80 XP for those dudes. You guys are 30. If I jump down and bite them, then we can do this. I can avoid their tail whip. Okay. You get all the way to 5,000. See if they fall asleep here. You guys don't sleep at night? Alright, let's see if there's anything faster than these guys in the like upcoming section. The green E.V.O orbs is de-evolved me, right? Is what they said. That's why I skipped it. Maybe it makes it easier to eat step in mid-air, I guess. Well, I thought when you eat them, you immediately consume them. But there was a tutorial thing that just explained that the green orb de-evolves you. Easier to farm the guys who give 80. I'm just thinking of them that gives like 100. This could be the boss fight, though. You are a failure. Queen Bee. It was you, Amphibian, who defeated my husband. King Bee, you have destroyed the laws of our insect society. She is much worse. Okay. Damn. Alright. Let's go farm 5,000 experience points. It'll take a minute. It shouldn't take too long, but talk amongst yourselves. How would you make an E.V.O-inspired game? What genre would you put it in? I think Metroidvania would be the best fit. All kinds of cool progression abilities. Mix of XP and abilities that you find in the environment. Requiring you to go between different, like, stages of life. Being big is almost always good, but I don't think it's going to be helpful for this. Or rather, being small is almost always good, but I think having less health is bad for this boss. I might need to evolve back into big and just be slower. I guess my jump is pretty fast. Tunic style, that's an interesting idea. Bunch of like weird puzzles that require you to have specific adaptations to access. I hate that idea. Right. Like I was saying with Pocopia, I feel like a game like that, you need to be able to have like weird things that are essentially codes, so you can have stuff like hiding in plain sight that the player doesn't know about. You could make a Dragon Quest Builder / Pocopia style Epiphany puzzler game by taking into account that you can get special things to happen by putting really weird specific objects next to each other, right? And that there's so many possible combinations that you probably wouldn't stumble on one of them by accident. So you could hide a lot of cool stuff in plain sight with something like that. I feel like you could do something similar with adaptation combinations. I've never gotten past this level, so I don't know what's after this. But I think I remember a friend told me I should play this game, is how I originally played it like 15, 20 years ago on an emulator. And they said something about how becoming a human is a secret. Is that a thing? Are they thinking of something else? Like way later in the game, there's some, if you pick very specific adaptations, you turn into a human. E.V.O plus Terraria would fuck. I'd love that. It's pretty cool. Hey. See if that's enough to beat this boss. Because then I won't risk anything if I die, because I don't have any souls on me. Oh, I look really cool. I have to exit out the other way. Okay. God, she hurts. Especially if you let her bite you. Alright, I'll try one more time and then I'll get... There's another 5,000 cost upgrade that I could go for. How does saving work in this game? Can I, like, save on the map screen or something? I need to try to get the stun lock, right? Give it like 2 more tries and then we'll go grind up the next upgrade. Hit by all those is real bad. That doesn't count. I couldn't get off the ground that time. Thank you, Gaia. tried to get a bite off before she did and did not succeed. After this, we'll go grind a little bit more. I really can't beat her there. Because like once you hit her, you do stun lock her for a second. You stagger her, I should say. Feels like the idea is like you have to like bite her out of the air. I'm gonna do one more try, and then try to keep her on the ground before she gets back up. Hard to not get hit by all of her stingers, too. That went better. Okay, I think I can beat her. I have to sprint to dodge her stingers. You wake up as a fish, it turns into E.V.O. Like the joke about Dragon Quest Builders, right? Pick the bad ending in Dragon Quest 1, you wake up and it's Minecraft. If I get hit by one of those, I'm very likely to get hit by all of them, so it sucks. There's not a lot of room to dodge. Okay, I think I can get 2 hits if I bounce and then bite. Yeah. Almost got the stun lock there. Nope, I was greedy. Alright, we can beat her though. Not sprinting. I'm gonna die. It's tough because it's really tempting to try to go for multiple back-to-back hits, but I think I just have to fight this like crazy conservative. One jump, one bite, run away. One jump, one bite, run away. Repeat. So I can dodge the first attack reliably. That's helpful. Got greedy. Okay, then we can do this. Just be really, really conservative here. Ah! Bad angle for the sprint there. Oh, that sucks. She didn't shoot her stingers at me as early as she usually does. Because I was too far to the left. Alright. God, that's so punishing. There's no food on this stage either, which is extra mean. Okay. Wonder how much health she has. My best attempt, I feel like I was like 1 more cycle, maybe 2 more cycles away from beating her compared to the health of the previous enemies. It's super bad if, like, she doesn't start shooting her stingers at you immediately. That's what's getting me killed a lot of the time here. Oh, come on. Ah, rude. She's not going to do it now because she's off screen for me. The greed! Ah, I should have been greedy. I keep thinking she's like one hit away, so maybe I should just not do that. She's tough, though. He's way harder than her husband. Okay. Dodge. Don't get stuck on the side of the screen. Problem is my walking speed isn't fast enough to dodge, which is really bad. She always catches me if I try to just... I have to be dashing. I could do something to increase my walking speed even slightly. It might be fine, because then I could just walk away from her, stingers. Okay, this is ideal. She goes in the center like that and immediately starts shooting. I had a double bouncer. I didn't realize that was possible. Ah! Right, at some point I'll leave and see if I can get my base move speed to be higher, but I don't know what I would pick to do that, because I'm already a small body. It might just be that when you're a land creature, your base walk speed is kind of shit. I wonder if I can eat her stingers. Probably not. I also think I need to wait for her to charge me before I jump. I try to preempt her charge, and sometimes she like waits longer depending on how far away she is, so that she can catch me in midair. I think I have time as long as I jump once I see her move that I can land on top of her. Oh, you really? So you're saying the shark is about this hard too if you don't like immediately trap her in a corner? You don't hit her the first time, she like can get hits on you for free pretty much. Well, I have an idea for a way to fight her differently now. Let's see. Yeah, I can do this instead of trying to dash across the screen. I can probably get more reliable hits off on her this way. That way I'm not constantly moving and unsure about what her behavior is going to be, right? More maneuverable as long as I'm in the air. So as long as I'm not like moving on the screen and running all the time. Shit. Shit! Ah, that was the run too. All right, well, we got a new plan to beat her, so. She got me because she went off screen, so I wasn't prepared for dodging her stingers. I gotta like keep her against that wall, I think. Oh, oh, oh! Got 3 there. It's really tempting to try to just, like, fish for that. Yeah, alright, alright. You have a first try when I finally win. She's tough. Got a double hit there, so that's nice. Oh, okay. If I was, like, holding her against the wall, we maybe could have had it there. Ah, shoot. So something I could do is just become bigger, since I think all of my speed right now is from being from jumping. So I don't think that like I'm getting any significant speed boost from like I don't think having a small body is helping me to jump further, right? So getting the extra hit points might give me enough wiggle room. So if I die this time, I'll go do that. Probably am gonna die this time after that. Yeah, okay. We're gonna go quickly get 1,000 XP. It should just take a quick second. Go up to huge and see if that makes a difference. Being small has been useful for like the rest of the stage though. Be a dickbag, man. It's crazy. I feel like the speedrun for this game is nuts. You just like get her in the corner and just like tap the bite button at exactly the right speed to lock her on the ground so she can't get in the air again. Be my guess. All right. That's an extra 10 health. I don't know if it affects my defense as well. It does make me do more damage, so that might help. All right. It looked really cool. See if I can still dodge the opening attack with my sprint now that I'll be slower. Yes, I do. Jump does a bit more damage. Fight doesn't, but that's okay. You take 1 less damage per hit too, so it's not just more HP. Double hit's nice. Oh, that's not good. I don't want her to be on this side of the screen. Hey! Okay, well, I only got hit twice, so it was just the extra confidence, I guess. Balance of nature. Plants were destroyed will grow back again. The ground will become an ideal place for all creatures again. Great power. Give this creature a new body. Undoing all of the XP that I just earned for beating the boss, but that's fine. I like the little, like, cool 2001 monolith door thing. What system was the original game for? It was like MSX or something? They're called dinosaurs because of their strength. Some big jumps. PC98, okay. I don't know anything about that game at all, how similar it is. I am significantly worse than an amphibian at the moment. Okay, 2 legs it is. I like being able to jump high. Mount Brave. I feel an ominous hunch. Oh, they're like running away. Look at the animation on their face. It's great. They're not great. 12 XP a piece, and they're kind of annoying to eat. Marsh of Prime Frog. What's wrong with slime? And they're only worth 10. They're also annoying. We are the ones who watch over the plants. Alright, 15 from these guys. They're a little bit less annoying. Let's see how much it costs to get like a Jaws upgrade would be nice. 500, damn. It's gonna take a while at this rate. Now the game is blind for me. I didn't do any of this stuff. I probably got to the Queen Bee and I was like, I'm good. I get the idea. Let's see this one down here. Oh, they both connect. Okay. Don't get involved with the crystal. It causes creatures to evolve in strange ways. Look at my excellent headbutt. I guess I am just able to eat it. Okay, thanks. The other time I ate a crystal, it evolved me instantly. So I guess I could use that to evolve back into my strong amphibian self if I had saved that evolution. So I could try to, like, farm up some XP here really quick. Jesus. These guys aren't messing around. The only thing I'd evolve into here would be a fish, which would be really bad. Unless if there's a water section of the level. Hard to have them not stun lock me here. At least they heal for a lot. They can do a jump bite bite is the way to go here. Yeah, okay. Need 500 for a Jaws upgrade, which will hopefully speed this up quite a bit if it's enough to one-shot these dudes. Well, if they're sleeping, that would be great too. Come on. Don't charge all the way off screen, man. I know you, like, cease to exist the instant you step off the screen. Almost there. 2 more. Oh, I'm gonna die now. I'm gonna get trapped between 2 of them. Managed to not die. Okay, Jaws. Give me something, right? Hopefully that hits for 3 would be great. It better not hit for 2. Okay, perfect. Oh, I love the face when you're sprinting now. I don't know which of these is going to be the best to farm. 20 is pretty good. They're much easier if you can one-shot them. Go away or I will become angry with you as well. Holy shit. Okay. I'm trying to go away! Fuck, I guess I'm not actually allowed to leave. So he's not actually a boss. We'll see how much meat he gives if I can beat him here before I start investing more EVO points elsewhere. Oh, yeah. Eat stunlock, bro. I don't know what's gonna happen when he gets to the edge of the screen. And I start biting too fast. That's what I was worried about happening. Ignore my hubris from earlier. Gonna keep him stunlocked. No music on this screen is weird. Oh no, I didn't jump in time. All right. He's like, we want you to have done grinding on the previous screen. 1, 2, 3, jump. 1, 2, 3, jump! Faster than that. Oh, we can go this way. That's fine. As long as I don't get ahead of him. And there's not another one off in this direction, which is also possible, right? How much health does he have? Holy shit. Slightly drifting to the left here, so things could go bad all of a sudden on me here. No, I need to actually kill him, so I don't want to go off the right side of the screen. Fuck, this is bad. Shit. Don't go that way, motherfucker! Okay, I need to get better stats. Watch him, you, like, kill him finally, and he gives you, like, 50 XP for eating him. So, I got a lot of bad options for farming here. It's probably going to be the guys who charge and give 20 XP each. But that's going to take forever. These guys are only 15. They're not significantly easier than the guys who are 20. What else can I evolve here? We got horns are expensive as fuck. Neck is pretty expensive. Body is defense. Maybe one of these tails. 100 for a tail maybe gives me a better jump or something. Snake's tail. Not seem to make much of a difference. Okay. Probably just to see what's behind him. He doesn't seem like he's formally a boss. Okay, well, we're not going to be the Brachiosauruses. Hopefully one of these screens just has an enemy that gives like 50 XP per kill that dies in one bite, right? Oh, okay, not quite one bite, but I can lock them down pretty easy. Here we go. Now we got a plan. You like do a roar is what's happening there? Question is, we save for Jaws here. already spent 500 in my initial jaws. The good jaws are like 5,000. Holy fuck. If anything else gives me damage. Extend neck for 1,000. That's kind of cool. I guess the horns are gonna let me charge stuff. Let me get the things where I'm able to get whatever the most expensive thing is. So sleepy. Now, this is one of the main things I'd want to improve with an indie Evo like would be like it would be fine if there was some grinding, but not like hard requiring it because you're not having enough levels, right? And unique challenges to go up against. And that increased my speed by a little bit. Speed's helpful because it'll increase my XP per hour from, or XP per minute, I should say, from farming these guys. I feel like I haven't gotten one of those rare meat drops in a while. Just thinking about it when it dropped just now. Health doesn't really help me with farming, is the thought. What else would I do here? We've got the tail. It's 1,500 is pretty doable. I'll do the tail and then we'll move on to the next area. I like the main thing this game is lacking is just more video game, right? Because like, I like the idea of it taking a while to become a, Tyrannosaurus Rex or whatever, and having to kill a lot of enemies to get a lot of evolution points to do that. It's just the fact that most of the game ends up being running back and forth on a screen like this is kind of unfortunate, right? I wonder if it kind of has it's a problem that the game is only okay, or it's kind of weird, so there aren't a lot of indie devs who are really excited about trying to make it, because like you play this and you're like, oh, that's kind of cute, and then you get frustrated running back and forth on a screen for a while, and you're like, oh, I'm no longer inspired by this game, right? You got to get the dev who's like plays it and it's like, this is a great idea, but it could be so much cooler if there was actually like a video game in there. More of a video game. I shouldn't say that it's not video gamey, because obviously they've abstracted a whole bunch of stuff, like making you a single organism that evolves instead of like your children evolving is already kind of a cool gamey abstraction. There's just no level design, right? We want the invincible tail. That makes my jump 2 more damage, so that's cool. And helps my speed and my jump, it seems like. 80 XP for almost the same amount of effort. Tail swipe's pretty bad if you can get it off on me, though. Ow, dick. I would really like to beat this game at some point. I kind of want to see how it ends. Ow. Rude. What's the next cheapest upgrade I can go for? This game also needs, like, a fucking bangin' JRPG soundtrack, and it doesn't have one. Probably one of these. Tritops or horned helmet is 1,000. I think this is like a 4-measure loop, this song that's playing right now. Domain of Prime Frog. You do not like slime? What an insolent Syracosaurus child. I don't like it. That's a level. To like save the child or something. Oh, I'm gonna die to the prime frog. Is it you who scared my children? You are not the prime, or we are the prime frog family. Even reptiles fear us. Whoa, that's cool. I like that. It's a more interesting boss mechanic than what we've seen so far. My jaws still kind of suck, though, is the problem. I think you get a full heal when you evolve, so maybe you could, like, tactically evolve in combat to get heals. I should have done that with the, E-Queen. Ah, wrecked. Okay, I probably want to have better jaws. Can I get Tyrannosaurus jaws and then beat this boss in 16 minutes? I'm trying to decide if I want to get some interstitial jaws too to speed this up. I do think it's unfortunate whenever games ask you to make that decision. I think it would be cool, since this is supposed to be an evolution game, if you needed to get each step in the evolution to get the last one right. So you don't have this problem where you're just kind of saving up for the stronger one. I guess it wouldn't be so bad if, like, you were able to save your evolution every single time. Like, once you unlock something, you could switch to it at will, right? Instead of it costing a new resource that overrides whatever you collected at that point. That would help a lot, I think. It's currently 5 hits to kill them for 80 XP. Maybe I'll switch to the next Jaws once I get to 1,000 XP. But then it's gonna effectively cost me 6,000 to get to the Tyrannosaurus jaws. Oh, that's helpful. Three hits now instead of 5. Check again, like, extend my neck, which maybe makes it easier for me to bite them, is the idea. Transform to 2 legs is also maybe desirable. Got the best tail, got the best dorsal fin, I've got a head. Horns are expensive again. Maybe I'll extend my neck. Then maybe extend to 2 legs? Oh shit, I didn't mean to do whatever I just did. Change my defense, I guess? Or we can go try the boss then. I didn't mean to do that. Stunlock. A little bit. I'm taking way less damage now, though, so that helps. And doing more damage. It's funny. Alright, that was a good chunk of XP. Anything amazing? I guess we can get the neck and 2-leg upgrade. Whoa. Body change. Look way different now. Anything past that gives better XP now. It makes it slower to bite now because I have to wait for my neck to come down, which kind of sucks. These are only worth 10 more XP despite being way more annoying than the Stegosauruses. And having way more health. I actually don't really like the neck upgrade. It kind of sucks. That's cool. Lapras. Which does a Nautilus give? These guys are pretty good. I think, unfortunately, the Stegosaurus is still probably the most efficient thing for me to farm. Come on, bro. Tempting to like switch back into a fish here, right? I wish there were more of those levels. I think those are really cool. And that spire looks pretty end of the level important. What a stupid creature. Oh man, they're tanky as fuck. Jesus. Spinning, you can't jump on them. Homosaurus. Okay, that's worth it. Here, the long neck is actually an advantage. Shit. I don't think I can reach that without jumping too high. Ah, pain. Gotta kill this one specifically, I guess. It's dead mice. We're starting to get mammals, though, is the point, I guess. Excited for that Tyrannosaurus upgrade. It's within reach. I feel like ActRaiser has a bump in soundtrack, so I know they had good composers at Enix. Since they're a Japanese company, is it supposed to be pronounced Enix? There's a lot of, like, software companies that have E at the beginning and you pronounce the E like E. But I don't know what, Oh shit, Japanese they actually use for it. This is bad. This is real bad. Okay, that's the thing that can happen. Almost lost 1700 XP. Fuck! Ah, god damn it. That's awful. Absolutely awful. Nikusu? Okay, so N, not E. It didn't happen to me at all before. Now it's just happening constantly. Holy shit. Let me just go ahead and like get a jaw. Oh, I can't even get one right now. Awful. want to, like, spend what I have. Great. Worded body, decreased body size, maybe. I kind of don't want to be so fucking tall. It's funny, you still have the long neck when you do that. That's making me bite faster, so that's nice. Being a little like this is kind of cute, actually. I love that run animation. It was really stupid. I guess you could do the GIF versus GIF thing and be like, well, if it's based on the Phoenix, then you should pronounce it Enix, right? It's not a Phoenix. Graphical. Then people say you don't pronounce it JFEG, so... Interesting that they merge with Square if the whole... Is the thing about Final Fantasy, like, being called that because it was their last ditch effort? Is that, like, made up? I could say catchy, okay. I guess the problem is, like, every time I see the name Enix, I'm not going to say Enikusu, right? Like, I'll say... Westernize it in some way. That's an urban legend? Okay. I feel like I could hear that get repeated constantly, but that's, like, actually true about Enix? Fighting fantasy. Get 5,000 EVO points right when we hit time here. I won't get a chance to try out the new teeth. I'll get 30 seconds to try out the new teeth. It's gonna be great. Oh, that's interesting. For the best. Look how cool I look. Oh, wow, that's... Oh, and I knocked them way the fuck back, which is actually kind of undesirable. But them dying in 2 hits means the rest of this farming is going to be... Oh, shit! Really easy. Alright, let's get out of here. It's actually riskier now because I knocked them back so much. Alright, Future Mars said, you just got the Tyrannosaurus Jaws. You can farm on this screen that I'm leaving you on here. They give 200 XP per kill, so you can finish getting all the other upgrades. You've got the best tail and the best dorsal fin and the best jaws. You could get good armor and maybe horns, I guess. E.V.O. Search for Eden's a cool game. I'd love to play more of it if you don't mind keeping it on your sub block, Ravenum.